Wish I had some snappy music there during the cold open. How's everybody doing? What is going on? Ninjatron, how are you? Two guys from Ohio. How are you? Well, you got a third here. Let me make sure my other thing is turned off. It sounds like it is. Hope I'm coming in well. Again, I'm trying not to pop. Hey, Cringe McCringle, how are you? I hope you made it home safe. And found your money. Titus, Paul, how are you? Patrick Brown, hey, how's it going? Yeah. Long couple weeks for me, moving back, setting up office, getting ready for TFCON, getting out to TFCON. I forgot how committed you have to be to travel across the country and not get sick and eat right and, hit your marks. But we'll talk about all of it. T-Formers 2002, how are you doing? Hope you made it home safe. Gary the Neutral, or Natural. I can't read. The letters are too small on Facebook or YouTube. Too small. So you have found yourself here on Friday night watching the live Toy Armada with Aaron Archer podcast. I am Aaron Archer, a 20-year vet of the Hasbro Kenner toy game, and celebrated my 30 years in toys this year, just a few weeks ago. Mostly we talk about the toys I worked on and the general things going on with Transformers, which I was contributor to for a good 14, 15 years overall. So tonight we are going to talk about TFCON LA, which was the first time I've gotten out to LA since I left Hasbro, other than for some interview kind of things. Certainly the first time I've had a couple days there to hang out and meet up with people who live out there. So, hey Tom, D-Dog C, how are you? So overall, like I said, I managed to get to Cleveland for an early morning flight, no problem. Managed to eat well enough getting out there, trying not to spend a bunch of money at the airport, eating small meals. And got out there fine. Burbank is a funny, old-fashioned airport. I swear the plane and the front door couldn't be more than 200 feet apart. It was crazy to see that. I'm going to go through the things that I'm not sure I picked up any of it. I think it's all stuff that was given to me. I got one thing that I picked up, and we'll talk about that too. As you know, I'm a working artist, so I go to those cons to make money, and it is everything it takes in me not to buy more cool stuff to put on the shelves, right? But I spend my money, if anything, probably eating and drinking at the shows more than buying stuff. But I did get a lot of interesting things, so I'll be talking about that and the people that gave them to me. So first is shout out to Colin for getting me out there finally. That was awesome. I like the TFCons. It's a well-run show as far as Transformer shows go for me. The same people are there year after year after year, so it's kind of very familiar and friendly, and I got a lot of friends there at this point because I've done so many of them. But that's what's cool about it. I entered into this Transformers thing a long time ago, and I was committed to it when I was doing it, and so much so that it is so far my kind of life's expression and creativity. So I am happy to be a part of it. Happy that people still talk about that stuff that I was connected to. Met a lot of people who Unicron trilogy really hit home for them. in their childhood, and as well as some Alternator stuff, and certainly animated fans, which I will get into that a little bit as well. So I managed not to get con crud. I washed my hands every so often and before I ate and stuff. I go with the rock and roll attitude of don't touch your face. I'm not sure I'm so great at it, but that's what I was trying to do. And I managed to, so far, managed to escape any problems. It's been a week, so I guess I'm probably clear. But it was a good time. I got out there. It was a little cold, actually, the first Friday afternoon, which was funny. For LA, leaving Ohio and getting to LA and feeling cold was funny. But ran into Jack Lawrence and Casey Collier on the first day. Had some beers with them, or drinks with them. I know Jack was drinking. And caught up a little bit. Nice way to land and kind of see what was going on. We have some mutual friends, and so that was a nice way to land. Friday night, I kind of checked out the hotel lobby, hung out with some people, and I guess that's where we should start. Daniel was out there hanging with Cringe McCringle and T-Formers 2002 and a bunch of the other fellows. And I met Fad Youngs. I hope I say that name right. Fad. And he works at Jada Toys. And he hooked me up with a Batman. The body is die cast. There's some rubber on the head and plastic on the cape, which is really cool. So that was awesome. Nice to have a talk with him. He went to college for toy design, and I always enjoy talking to those guys to see how it is they found their way into that, and the commitment for that. It's pretty, unique degree. But then he also hooked me up with the die-cast Godzilla, which is awesome. These are nice. Nice sculpt on that. Die-cast is tough to get certain amount of detail. You're dealing with metal, but these are nice. These are nice. So I'm gonna put these right on the Batman shelf and the Godzilla shelf. So those are now up there. I told them they'd definitely be going on the shelf, and they definitely are. So Friday night, had some more beverages, ran into some people. I was going to, I took a long nap, actually, so I went down late. That's what happened. I was going to try to hook up with Eric Siebenhaler that night, and by the time I finally ate and crashed, I was slow to get up, and I kind of missed the window to make that worth our while for that night. But we've more than made up for it, so that's fine. So that's how I ended up hanging down at the lobby for a little bit, and then milling about to see who I could chat with. When I go to those shows, my attitude is I'm there. I've been part of this community since the early aughts. So I just go and find people that I know and hang out with, just like anybody. So that's kind of what I did. Yeah, it was cold, I heard, in LA all week. For you guys that came out early to kind of sightsee, that must have been annoying. It's still pretty early in the year, though. Wind charger, sorry about that. So then I got up Saturday, went down and set up. I was actually down at the booth before Proto Man, which is very rare. He keeps me on task. We're there to have our stuff ready to go and talk to anybody who wants to talk to us about stuff. So it was funny. I got down there a little bit, by matter of minutes earlier than him. We had a nice little display. He definitely helps me promote the art, and we get to talk about robots, and I tell old stories all weekend. So I might start a story with somebody, and then I finish that aspect of it, and he'll be like, "What else happened with that?" I like telling that stuff. So whoever happens to be around hears that one too. So that's kind of fun. Andrew Long, how are you? When you guys talk about the childhood stuff, that is awesome, because quite literally, this is a real story. I would talk to Steve Bono, particularly, and I had this weird attitude of, I'll know we found success, because we were on Batman at this time, when there are kids who are in college drinking or smoking or doing whatever they do, and they go, "You remember that weird yellow Batman that had the fire axe? Oh yeah, and I had this green one that had some blades on it." That was success then. What I get back now with the Unicron trilogy people is 100 times fold, and it's great. It's great because you don't know where this stuff goes. I got to be very creative during that time, and to see that it, imprinted on a certain aspect of the generation is awesome. That makes me happy. So I got a lot of that over the weekend as well, which is always nice, no doubt. Which takes me to my next little thing. So this was given to me by Kevin Yang at metalmesh.work on Instagram. I don't know the best lighting here. If you can see it, it is a SD Armada Optimus 3D print, and it is very crisp, very tight. I'm not going to gum up the processes because I'm not entirely sure. So, but 3D printed and designed by Kevin Yang, and very cool. He even had on the bottom, I don't know if we'll be able to capture that quite, but it says "A gift to Aaron," which is very cool. Very cool. So that's another indicator of, a job well done with Takara back then to create an Optimus that another generation feels good about, if they're still, inclined to make these kinds of things with their time and creativity and skill. So that one is also going on the shelf. I appreciate you, Kevin. That was awesome. Hey, El Kevo. Yeah, it was really nice. It was really nice to get that, and we had a nice chat about designing that and just that time period in general, and 3D printing, and how far things have come from where my experience in toys started and where they are now. That thing would have cost who knows how much money to try to get something like that conceptually made back in my beginnings of the toy world. It wouldn't have been something you were doing at home. But yeah, the details on that are really cool. You were right there, right? You saw that T-Farmers 2002. So then that was what else happened on Saturday? I did not. My panel was on Sunday. Let's see here. I got a few things that these might be out of order. All right, so there we go. I do have some photos to tell some stories. So last weekend I was out in LA. and hung out with Frank. For those who you don't know, Frank's an old... oh, man, what did I do? All right. Frank's an old BotCon friend from, my early days of BotCon. He'd be running around doing the voice actor panels and different voice actor related things that they would have. Frank Todaro. And now he voices Starscream on various Transformer projects as well as other voices, and he's in the Cuphead series. So he's out there and being a professional, and kind of I've watched him go from learning and eager to making the leap to professional, over these years, and it's great. It's a success story when you see that stuff. The long view. That's how I see it. So it was great to see him. Hadn't seen him since the last BotCon in Kentucky, and so it was really, really great to see him. We talk online every so often, but to spend some time in vibing was great. And yeah, Frank does a good job. He does a good job, no doubt. And then Sunday night, I hung out with the artist T.G. Ping. He does the watercolor Transformers, if you've seen those. He gave me this book signed. I appreciate that. I've worked with a lot of Transformer artists, and I have my favorites from back in my day, and I'm, Marcelo and Ken and Emiliano are my guys, and Eric is my, godsend in a way. But if I like my personal style preferences, T.G. Ping might be my favorite Transformer artist. I just love watercolor and this kind of style. His dedication to getting the details just right. As you know, I kind of with my paint. And then because I went to school for painting, I just like talking to him. We were talking about paper and brushes and leaving the white open, no cheating as far as the watercolor goes. So anyway, always good to see him at a con and actually be able to spend a little extra time this time talking art and stuff. So that was cool. Sunday night as well. Got to hang out with Eric and Marty Eisenberg, who stayed out after the con was over, which was awesome to hang out. This was the three of us worked in various capacities on animated. So Eric designed the toys and worked with Derek Wyatt quite a bit out in California on the production. Created a few characters as well. Marty was the head writer and I think showrunner. I might have that wrong, but certainly brought to life all the characters with Derek and a few others. And so it was just great to have a long view of animated as well, the good, the bad, and just appreciate a good working relationship that has stood the test of time to at least want to be friendly and sit down and have a meal and, talk creatives and old friends and various things. So that was awesome. On the long view, we work with people, and great to catch up from time to time. Yeah, and Marty did write Beast Machines. I always forget that because I'm not allowed to talk positive about Beast Machines. Just joking. All right, so that was them. Obviously, I spent the weekend with Proto Man. Like I said, he definitely helped with the art, and we watched each other's bit of the table, met people, had great interactions, took a lot of pictures. was able to really, a lot of support for the instruction sheet art, so that those things were consistent, and it's funny the different things people react to because I draw them so differently. It was great. It was great. So Proto Man and I always have a good time sitting at the table. We kind of have different agendas in the evening, but we have a ball during the day. So always good to hang with him, and great to get out of our normal kind of comfort zone, not in Toronto where it's kind of a bit routine and a bit as far as how that conventions run. This one was a little different and fun because we haven't been out here before. So yeah, some of you guys get the Starscream art autographed by the actual voice actors, which is very cool. Very cool. And then I got to finally meet Scott Zillner. He and I had talked online a few different times over the years, and I thought he might be out there, but I didn't want to push it and bother him if he wasn't. But yeah, he came over on the first day. I think he runs the Pasadena Comic-Con and Robot Toy Fest out there in California. Awesome dude, talked about 80s stuff and really vibed about that and shared some art, and he definitely hooked me up. I got patches, and I'm going to actually put this patch on a jacket that I have. Gave me some pins related to his convention. He's got a robot for his Robot Toy Fest, which I like. Then he gave me a really cool glow-in-the-dark version. So I appreciate that. I gave him a piece of art in return. Yeah, so just great to vibe with him, talk about people we have in common and different things. He had connections to Bandai and different places, so always fun to catch up with somebody like that, and especially live. And then, make sure I did that right. Did I do that right? Yeah, okay. And then old partner in crime, Tony Prado, who's been to every BotCon. He's one of like the last 4 people, I think, that literally has been to every BotCon. Not every TFCon, obviously, but I've hung out with him in England. He was there when I went to TF Nation, and I don't know if we ever actually hung out in Japan. I don't think we ever did, but certainly at all the BotCons and various things. And last summer at BotCon, we did hang out in Fort Wayne. I know his family, his sister and stuff, sisters. So always good to see him, have some drinks, talk shit. Again, I got long roots with everybody in the community, the dealers, the various voice actors and artists, the just general people that have been coming to these things and I've seen over the years, whether I talk to them or not, or maybe I don't talk to them for 5 years or 10 years because of whatever. And it's just great. It's just great to be a part of. Great to be a part of. And there we go. Saturday was Eric. I saw Eric during the day. I ended up going to dinner, and I'll get to that. And then he went to dinner with the animated guys. So we didn't hook up on Saturday night. That's what made Sunday night so much fun. So always good to spend time with Eric. Eric Siebenailer there, was my partner in all of the Unicron trilogy stuff, really, once he came in full time. And, nothing I didn't also kind of somewhat pass through his hands, and sometimes vice versa. But he had the final say. He drew much better than me. He would help bring goofy ideas I might have to life, but he is every bit the credited partner in that stuff. He just doesn't, live it like I'm still living it. He's got better things to do, I guess. But always good to sit down with him. And just, we spent so much time together. It's just second nature. We just hang out. We're happy together. We spent a lot of time drinking beers after work as well, traveling the world together, drinking beers around the world together. So this is a long-term friendship that is well beyond the work that we did together. And it was great. Hadn't seen him I saw him a little bit in November when he happened to be in town, but I don't get to see him too often. So it was great to spend hours with him. And then those in the know, I knew this guy when I was just starting out on the Transformers, and he was a young gentleman with his, I think, young enough that I think had to have a chaperone. And now here we are, older and older men. So great to see my friend Justin here. For the sake of the internet, I will spare his full name and code name. Ultra Primal. Yeah, that's all right. Everybody's busy. That's where I kind of know that some cons I get a lot of time with some people, and other cons I don't get any with the same people. Just how the flow goes, different schedules, and sometimes I don't even get to the certain lanes of the convention. At TFCon, I kind of go through the convention at the beginning of the show before it opens, and as people are at the end, when people are kind of packing up, hardly ever go through there. So it's easy not to see people, if they're busy. So anyway, yeah, but I'll catch you at the next one. I will catch you at the next one. How's it going, Bigum? And then, what else? And then, on Saturday night, I went to dinner with my cousin, Tom Ashworth. He's an actor out in California and has done a bunch of unique work over the years and is out there working hard and make it a go and has been doing it. So always good to sit down with him. Him and his wife Christine had a meal at the hotel, and they didn't stay too late, which was fine. It meant that I had more time on Saturday night than I thought I did. That's one of the reasons I missed Eric, because they were just getting to dinner when I was almost already done. So timing didn't work out. All right, you can come that way. All right, the cat has entered the podcast. So it was good to see family. I don't have a large family necessarily, and we were kind of like loner enclaves as far as families go. So when we cross each other's territory, we do like to get together, but we will never find a reason to get together. But if we are in proximity, we will get together. That is the Archer way. We are a very interesting family that way. So really cool. Christine is an author, and her brother is a very famous, knowledgeable person in the Wicca world, who passed a long time ago now, but very interesting. Always good to see them and hang out with them. So yeah, Jiro has entered the building, so sorry if you're hearing the purring. I don't know what I can do about that. So it is 10:30. You're at the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. I was just covering the TFCon experience and kind of some of what I picked up, mostly, like I said, what people gave me, and my general vibes of the show. So it was it was cool. It was cool to just be out there in California again. I spent a lot of time out there. And once I left Hasbro, I was fine not to go back too much. But after this long kind of period, it was nice to get back there. I didn't really leave the hotel. I ate in the hotel up until the very end. Then I ate at the airport. Don't tell Proto Man. So yeah, I didn't leave the hotel, which is kind of my MO. I again, I go out to these conventions to participate and interact. I'm not trying to hide out in the room or at a different hotel. I'm not that mobbed or important. People who want to interact with me, I'm pleasant to approach, I guess, and that's great. I get a lot of interesting conversations that way on the elevators and not only the bar and whatnot, but I looked at a portfolio on Sunday night. I hope I gave some good insights and tried to be fair and also share kind of my vibe about the world as it goes right now and in the art game. But so it's always good to give, I don't want to say give back, but help the next generation on their journey. I had a concentrated effort of it years ago, and now I'm kind of a lone wolf. So it was nice to talk to TG Ping and this other gentleman that I won't name him. But it was good. It was good. It was a good show. Was happy overall. Got to meet some of the different voice actors in the back room. David Kay, who I've met and spent time with over the years. So now it's just like, hey, it's another show, and we wave and that's fun. He knows I created a few of the characters he voiced. So that was cool. And then saw Alfie and Aaron, which is always great to see them. So that was good. Alfie actually gave me, I got it right here, already kind of hanging up. She gave me one of her prints of her photographs. So that now sits in front of me. My studio is in the basement, so a nice greenery, natural vibe of a photo is helps the atmosphere in the room. Behind the scenes, I got various trinkets and Buddhas and Ganeshas and Marias and all kinds of Hellboyish things, skulls and candles and whatnot. Yeah, that is a baboon's actual skull. If I have a collection that's kind of weird, I guess it might be my skull collection. So let's see what we're talking about, because I am rambling. TG Ping's art, he's a great guy. Yeah, he's fun to hang with too. I don't know his deeper story, but at a con we're just vibing and talking art and stuff, and it's just good about that. So yeah, he's fun. Yeah, Brendan, getting a whole tidal wave is tough. My tidal wave is missing the missiles and ramjet. I got the fins finally for the legs, which also come off a lot. But yeah, I hear you. I was surprised to see the prices of stuff that I worked on, I got to be honest, some of the prices of my Armada stuff were the same prices I saw on G1 stuff back when I started, 25 years ago now, going to cons. So kind of funny that how that inflation works in toys, and just time, right? Every day, another one of the hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of those toys that got made gets recycled or crushed or burnt or whatever, and over time it just becomes a different value. Yeah, I got a skull collection, people. I have a bunch of monkeys. I got a bunch of gators and caimans. And I'm not joking, I have a skull guy. Or a bone guy. I should say a bone guy. Actually, I don't get my monkeys from him. But I got a friend in St. Augustine, Florida, who has a beetle farm and processes the alligator heads from the meat packing they do down there of selling alligator. They keep the heads for the count, and at every interval they got to get rid of the heads once it's accounted for. And he puts those in the beetle bins, and the flesh-eating beetles or the meat-eating beetles clean them, basically. Yeah, they're real. They're real. I have a springbok that's usually hanging up, but I haven't unpacked it. Yeah, they are. I didn't know we were going to get into a bone conversation tonight, but you got me excited. I managed to talk myself into it, so yeah, this one. So you can, yeah. So I wouldn't want to get bit by one of these guys. This is some nasty doing right there. Nasty doing. Transfan, yeah, all real. Ooh, the antlers for the Megatron. Yeah, those ones, once they start popping off, they pop off. Yeah, so when I was in college, two of my best friends started a rock and roll band, and they were based out of St. Augustine, Florida in the 90s. And so I went down there quite a bit for all my school breaks, and then for I think all my Hasbro vacation almost was down there as well, because I wasn't married and wasn't going on other trips. I didn't even have a girlfriend most of the time. So I went down to St. Augustine to hang out with them. All right, yeah, I'll move the bone. So, and that was when it was a small, sleepy town. Now it's a little bit different. Yeah, I'm working on all that this weekend, T-Formers. Sorry. I got it right there. Yeah, he's a funny guy. I've known Dave since the early 90s. So yeah, I got a bone guy. I never really stopped to think about that, but yeah, kind of fun. I got a sea turtle. I got some various marmots. My favorite are the little monkey skulls, because they just look like miniature human skulls. Yeah, it used to be a sleepy tourist trap, like people who wanted to just chill while they were on vacation. But now it's definitely, touristy. And it's way too small a town to be overly touristy, unfortunately. The ancient streets just don't hold it, unfortunately. But I guess that's their problem. Cat needs some love, I guess. So those of you who went to TFCon, what was your highlight? Sunday was good. Hung out all day. We had our panel right before Frank Welker's, so we had a full house, which was kind of funny. And we talked about the 13 and the origins of why that needed to even be thought of and how that went. Party Paul, how's it going? We got Ninjatron and Party Paul in the house, ladies and gentlemen. The 3 members of Rainbow Monster Ninja. Album dropping soon. What was I rambling on? Oh, so we did our panel. Didn't have any time for Q&A, unfortunately, but the room was definitely amped for Frank to come and do his panel, so that was fine. That gave Eric and Marty and I the ability to bug out and go get dinner early while everybody was in that panel, which was fine at the hotel. Sideswipe Prime. Highlight was meeting you and getting you to the stuff you designed. Well, at the next one, man. At the next one. I'm always around. How's it going? I missed your podcast on Wednesday by like 20 minutes. I realized I was doing other stuff, and I was like, "Oh man, it's Wednesday," and it was already done. Sorry about that. Yeah, it probably does sound like a polka band. Sorry, we're like 2 rooms over from the polka practice through the walls, right? Wow, Armada Unicron for your 7th birthday. Well, you had a charmed childhood, no doubt. Yep, you were probably the sweet target right there at that time. And I got to tell you, I mean, think back. The big Cheetor did not do well for various reasons. And that was the most expensive Transformer to date. Notwithstanding 20th Anniversary Prime kind of being its own separate little bubble because of the anniversary. As far as a mainline item that was going to go to every retail environment that it could, that was a high ticket item at the time and just a big item at the time. Complex, kind of, for its era. Not overly complex, but more involved than some. With that missile projection, and still had lights, and was still sizable. Man. There goes the water softener, doing its weekly flush. Can you guys even hear that? It's kind of loud on my end. I don't know how it comes through on the speaker. Yeah, OG Fort Max was probably more expensive, but in that era, we hadn't got to that point again. Yeah, the water softener, man. You guys are funny. So, it was a big box. It was the culmination of the show. So if people weren't digging on the show, who cares about this guy coming? So, it was a unique item, and that one's up there on my list. It's my top 5. I mean, bringing Unicron to product, given the fact that I had seen it in the theater, like any of you that were fortunate to see in the theater. That used to be a given. Now we're a different generation out now, or two. I thought it was cool that I could just do Unicron. It never got made. Let's use him. It's part of the story. Little did I know how much, what kind of impact that would have. And I finally got to see one of the Pulse item Unicrons in person, open. I've seen the box a bunch, but not one open. Whew. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. I'm not sure I would have known how to make that kind of product. Unicron from Armada was the kind of right where I like it to be. Some feature, some fun, decent enough transformation for what can you do with a planet, right? But not bad. So I'm glad that you got that for your 7th birthday. That sounds like fun. Are there any original primes you wish were made? I don't know how to answer that. Like of the 13, I think they're going to try to make them all. And during our panel, it's clear that, we never worried about or thought about or needed to consider their alt modes. So it's funny to see them as trucks and things, right? Finally saw HasLab Unicron. Yeah, that test shot. Pretty wild. Wow. The Amazon Unicron, is that the one that's more like the movie where they redid the head and colored him movie silver and orange? That's a good item too. I mean, that's a great way to pump that out again for a little bit. I've seen some of those instruction sheets for that one. I think I have one. I want to do a more faithful movie version of Unicron on that one for sure. Yeah, I plan to be in Toronto, barring, the Orange Pumpkin declaring war or something, and I can't get over the border. Nonsense. It's just nonsense. Anyway. So hopefully I will be there. That is the plan. Party ball. That is the plan. So that Unicron right above my head, that is the one I've had in my office ever since. I don't know if that's the one I took out of package to count the twisty ties. I don't think it's a prototype. I think it's at least late test shot, if anything. It's all right colors. His feet are a little loose, but I'm going to guess that might be the case on all of them. Any toys I wish I could revise? Well, I'm a creative person, so I can find some things I could make better in pretty much everything. My short answer is usually Armada Smokescreen and Laserbeak for totally different reasons. I wish we would have had a better understanding of the gun laws at the time, so Laserbeak could have been cooler colors. And there's always an item in every wave or every couple of waves that just either gets inserted late or just didn't get dealt with, or something happened with somebody or development, and like there's a catch-up item where it's always a couple people worked on it, or it's late, or they added it late so no one had an idea, and there's always an item that just like comes out and it's just like because it just wasn't gone through the system in a good way. The knees, I love the combining gimmick of the Unicron trilogy. Yeah, the Savage Claw mode is cool. Eric figured a lot of that out. I probably said, yeah, let's do a big giant arm, and I'm sure Takara brought that to us as well. And I was like, yeah, let's do that. But Eric had to figure that out, him and the designer and Takara. Which one did you just need to be like, add it all through the trilogy? Which one did you just need to like at all through the trilogy? I'm not sure how I'm reading that, Tom. The Ballastor on the bottom shelf behind you. I didn't work on anything on the bottom shelf. Oh, is that a Pokemon? Is that the name of the Pokemon? No, this thing's crazy. Is this what we're talking about? If this is what you're talking about, this thing has a motor in it that makes this guy walk, and as he walks, he shoots these little pellets out the gun. So he walks, and the switch is in the tail. I don't have batteries in it right now, but this is the battery pack. I don't remember where I got this. I think I got it from Vicky Stratford because she didn't want it, and she was working on Pokemon, and I was like, that thing is crazy. And I like sea monsters and Gamera, and I saw this thing in a whole different light than a Pokemon. But is that what you're talking about? Yeah. I did not work on that, so that is the story of how I got that one. Again, my collection is very either personal because I got it from somebody, worked with somebody, respected somebody, or it's inspiring in a different way creatively for me. But a lot of everything in here has some sort of story, significance to it. It's rare that it's just a random thing, for good or bad. Hansley, yeah, the con was last weekend. It was awesome. You'll have to catch up on the first half of the pod because I went over everything. I was happy to see a lot of good people, old friends, new friends, a lot of the colleagues from the different work environments. But real good. Some people brought instructions. Some people brought their own instructions to have me draw on. I did a Vector Prime that way. I'm working on a TF animated box. This was actually from the toy collection of Derek Wyatt. It's got the sticker inside, so that's pretty cool. I gotta finish that up. Are any other fun things you got from other teams randomly? Oh yeah, I got all kinds of crazy stuff in here. Because of my work connection to some people. I don't know. But that's where I'll start today with the goofy robot from Pokemon. It really is cool because it's a solid plastic. I think it was a model kit too. I think you actually had to, because it's got the seams here where it was obviously cut off a sprue poorly on both arms right there. Hard to see, but very, very interesting item. But he walks, and then shoots these things, and his mouth kind of moves as he walks. So, yeah, you can't beat that. blue turtle that shoots guns out of its shell. I mean, come on. I'm going to be a sucker for that all day, every day. I looked around the room at TFCon for Brave items that I needed, but none of the items. No one had the train to go on my Captain Shark. Nobody had the train. So the hunt continues. And then I posted this today. I wanted to get this done for the con, but I did not, unfortunately. This is my latest Unicron painting. Continuing the theme of the underwater fish drifting through space. Met a guy named Alex. Seemed like a cool dude for the short interaction I had with him. Hopefully we'll have more. He bought the planet painting I did that had the purple attacking monsters or beasts or ships or whatever. So that was cool. I really appreciated that. Selling the big paintings is, kind of my personal dream and goal. Never thought I'd be doing it. So I already got the next one kind of going. I don't know exactly what's happening yet. The monster will be in here somewhere, but you got to paint the background before you paint the foreground. So that'll be the next cosmic painting. I have a lot of fun doing those. I don't know if Captain Shark inspired Skybite or not, but I just love the literal, thematic. It's a shark. It's a battleship shark that turns into a captain who has a hook. He had the hook hand that fought, I think it was a firing hook even. And then he had a captain's hat with the skull and crossbones on the hat. He just like it was an admiral or something. So good. So just carry a theme over the top through. I really do enjoy that. I didn't do it enough, in my opinion, but that's what I like about Captain Shark. And it's even funnier that he's red and blue, he's heroic colors. There's Captain Shark right there. Yeah, most people did not have Brave stuff. And again, I've said it before, but it actually saves me money. To hunt for something that I know won't be there only saves me money. So if they had it in droves, I'd be screwed. So it's almost fine that I can't find it in a way. I missed it. I missed it again. That's fine. Yeah, pirate robots. You can't go wrong with pirate robots. Party Paul, come on. I've never heard of Captain Shark. You're going to make me pull it down, aren't you? You're going to make me pull it down. These are my Brave guys that I have out. This is my preferred Transformer shelf. Stuff for me. Not just waves of stuff I worked on or characters I worked on. Alright, Captain Shark, look at this. Look at this guy. Tell me you haven't seen this dude. Come on. This was not the sword he came with. That's a 3D model sword. But there is a train that hooks on in these connector joints that pull out, right, like some of the Brave stuff did, and it sits on his shoulder like a giant bazooka, and it's old locomotive kind of train. So I don't have the hooks that go in here anymore. I used to have all of it. I opened this box, and this is all I have left, so don't let me near your toys. He's also got these awesome... I do not want to break them. I'm not going to break them. He's got these back struts that fold out so that when he has the train on his on him, he can stand up. As it is, he's a little back heavy anyway. That's probably why I have him holding the sword and why he's always on the shelf. Alright, so favorite Brave series. I don't know. I like them all for a little bit different reasons. I mean, Gal Gaigar's probably the best one, but that's not my favorite one. I don't know. We looked at the Brave product as the types of products Takara could also do. So we were doing the Beast Wars stuff. We knew we were getting into the joints and could do all that. We knew G1 generally. But it was all part of the building up of their preference and trust to get us to co-development when Golden Arrow greenlit it. To say, hey, we make other stuff too. Now, because of the way Brave lines were created, it's a separate deal with Takara, separate from Hasbro, and had different partners in the consortium over there. So we couldn't use that tooling. We couldn't use those shows without basically licensing them, and we were already a committed relationship through a different deal that we didn't need those characters. We'll just continue on with our characters. But they inspired combining in the Gal Gaigar guys, the cement mixer and the crane and those kind of dudes. Doing the side combining was really intriguing. So it was never going to truly be imported to here or adapted, just because of the deal. But it really started the process of, we can work together and create new stuff. So what kind of new stuff do we want to do? So that's kind of how Brave fits into the timeline. I remember getting all of it. The boxes came and it was everything. We got car robots and all the Brave stuff at the same time in these giant boxes. And soon after that, I also got boxes and boxes of Micronauts or Microman, the little clear and silver versions with the magnets in the feet at that time. Boy, you don't hear me cuss too much, but small fucking fortune came through my hands at that time. Jesus. Wow. But so that's the story of Brave and Transformers in general terms. All right. Let's see. Whoa. Turning off the wrong things. Something's going on with this. Anywho, all right, it's after 11. I need to eat something. I cannot afford the new Diaclone, nor can I track it down most of the time. I have a couple of very small, probably the lowest price point entry kind of stuff you can get in early Diaclone anyway. It's been a couple of good 8 years since I've bought something. It's hard to find over here, and I'm not a shipping it across the globe kind of person. So I just haven't come across it too much. And with jumping cats and young kids, it's just another finicky thing I probably don't need. But it is cool. It is cool. Yeah, it's the same reason Takara can't make toys of any of the anime girls from Beast Wars and Car Robots. I don't know about that, but and then one thing I will leave with on my way out of town. That's what happened. I set my phone on my. All right. On the way out of town at the airport, I ran into TJ Omega, his channel. If you guys follow him, it kind of does news and lists, totally dedicated to Transformers. there was an open seat next to me, and he sat down, and we had a good chat because I got to the airport early because I wanted to eat, and he got there because, once the con's over there, you can only sit in your room for so long, and we were both going to the East Coast. So got the vibe with him a little bit, talk Transformers. Kind of a nice way to end it, I listened to his channel over the years. So that was nice, and that was the last bit of TFCon business I kind of had until I got home. I was just by the time I got home, just another traveler. That worked out pretty good. So it was really good. Got home Monday, had to drive back here, so I got home about midnight on Monday, and was wired and still on West Coast time for the weekend, so I stayed up. Didn't work on Tuesday, and I got a long weekend ahead of me. I was prepping and moving and stuff, so I got a lot of little things I got to get done around the house tomorrow and Sunday. So that is my plan. I never need KISS players. I don't know. Anime girls don't do it for me. It's probably sacrilege to say in the but anyway, thanks for joining. Hope I hit some good things. Great to see all the people and vibe with everybody in a different part of the world. I'm looking forward to TFCon Toronto for all different reasons, and I look forward to that. So I will see you guys. You can check me out on my socials, and I will be around the next couple Fridays, I think. All right, everybody. Take care.